Welcome to all of you in Sankalpa Education Pratham classes. I am Sachin Patil, delivered lecture series of derivative. In previous lecture, we think about what are the standard formulas and how to calculate the derivative by using a first principle. Standard formulas are always in front of you for solving the different categories of derivatives. Now we are going to talk about the derivative of composite function. Derivative of composite function. Inside the derivative of composite function, first of all we think about what is the composite function. What is the composite function? Composite function is nothing but a function of a function. Function of a function. This is called as a composite function. And composite function is now considered, first of all, let us consider y is equal to f of x. F of x be a function, and here we know about the in first lecture of that lecture series of derivative, we know that the x is an independent variable and y is a dependent variable, and f is the operation performed on the function x. Variable x. Right now we know that the y is equal to f of x be a function, then x is a independent variable and y is a dependent variable. Right now we consider x is equal to g of t. That means once again x is a dependent variable and t is the independent variable. That means here we will get the linkage between the y is the function of x. Y is the function of x and x is the function of t. X is the function of t. That means indirectly y is the function of t. That means indirectly y is the function of t. How it is written inside the composite form? Y is, we know that y is equal to f of x and x is equal to g of t. Put x is equal to g of t inside the function of y, you will get the y is equal to f of g of t. Right now in this function t is a independent variable and y is a dependent variable which is depend on t. That means y is the function of x, x is the function of t, then y is indirectly function of t, and this is written as f o g of t, and therefore this notation is represent a composite function. First of all, we think like that one. For example, we have to consider here, example is here. Let y is equal to f of x is equal to 2x and x is equal to g of t is equal to t square. Then y is equal to f of g of t, that is we put x is equal to g of t is here, then you will get the 2 into g of t. What does it mean? G of t is nothing but t square and therefore 2 into t square, and therefore y is equal to f o g of t, it is equal to 2t square, and this is nothing but a composite function, and it is simplified by using a putting of that dependency inside the function y is equal to f of x. I think you will get the complete consideration of the composite function. Right now once again I am repeat that composite function is a function of a function inside which one function y is equal to f of x, where x is a independent variable and y is a dependent variable. But once again this dependent variable is depend on another variable, then you will get the y is the function of x and x is the function of t, and therefore y is indirectly function of t. At that time this is nothing but a composite function, which is written like that one: y is equal to f of x and x is equal to g of t. We put the x is equal to g of t inside the function f of x, you will get the y is equal to f of g of t, and you will get the f of g of t, and it is nothing but a composite function. For example, we considered y is equal to f of x is equal to 2x and x is equal to g of t is equal to t square. We first of all put the x is equal to g of t inside the function, and you will get the 2 into g of t, because x is replaced by g of t and g of t is nothing but a t square. You will get the consideration of that one. Okay, this is a derivative of function. Once again, composite function. Now we are perform the derivative of composite function. Before we perform the derivative of composite function, we know about those formulas related to that standard derivatives, that means x raised to n, k, root x, and so on. So once again you have to flash those formula in front of you, and after that you have to perform the derivative of composite function. Before we have to perform the derivative of composite function, we think about the chain rule, or it is a theorem related to that one. Theorem. First of all, we know about the theorem. If y is equal to f of u, what does it mean? Y is a dependent variable and u is a independent variable. That means y is depends on u, is differentiable function of u. Differentiable function of u, and u is equal to g of x be a differentiable function of x, then y is equal to f of g of x is differentiable function of x, and dy by dx, that is derivative of y with respect to x. X is an independent variable and y is a dependent variable on x, therefore derivative of y with respect to x, dy by dx, is given as dy by du into du by dx. Similarly, if we get the y is the function of u, u is the function of w, w is the function of x, at that time y is indirectly function of x, therefore derivative of y dy by dx is equal to, first of all, y is the function of u, therefore derivative of y with respect to u, it is nothing but a dy by du, into u is the function of w, therefore derivative of u with respect to w, that means du by dw, into w is the function of x, therefore derivative of w with respect to x, dw by dx. Similarly, if dependency is increases, you will get the multiplication of those derivatives, dot 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 and so on, and this is nothing but a chain rule. Now we are going with the proof of that theorem. What is the theorem is here? If y is equal to f of u is a differentiable function of u, and u is the function g of x, that means it is a differentiable function of x. At that time y is equal to f of g of x is a differentiable function of x, and you will get the dy by dx is equal to dy by du into du by dx. du by dx. Inside this, we have to consider, let delta x be small increment in x, then let delta u and delta y be the corresponding increment in u and y respectively. That is if delta x tends to 0, that means we know about that when you can change the value of x, you will get the relative change in u, and if you change the value of u, then you will get the relative change in y. If change in x tends to 0, then delta u tends to also 0 and delta y tends to also 0. Now we are consider the elementary incremental ratio. Now consider incrementary ratio delta y divided by delta x, because we know that about the consideration is y is the differentiable function of x, therefore increment in x causes the relative change in the value of y, therefore incremental ratio is dy by dx. We have delta y divided by delta x is equal to delta y divided by delta x into delta u divided by delta u. That means you multiply numerator and denominator by delta u. You will get the consideration by swapping delta u and delta x. You will get the delta y divided by delta u into delta u divided by delta x. Delta u divided by delta x. Taking limit delta x tends to 0 on both side, that is limit of delta x tends to 0, delta y divided by delta x is equal to limit of delta x tends to 0, delta y divided by delta u into delta u divided by delta x. Now these are the two functions, and multiplication of those functions, you will take the limit separately and multiply it. You will get the consideration of limit of delta x tends to 0, delta y divided by delta u into limit of delta x tends to 0, delta u divided by delta x. Right now here we will think about the delta x tends to 0 is here, and therefore if we change the value of delta x, you will get the relative change in u. Right now in this consideration, this incremental ratio, change in u causes the change in y, and here we will take the delta x tends to 0. You first of all replace it by using a limit of delta u tends to 0 as delta y divided by delta u into limit of delta x tends to 0, delta u divided by delta x. In this consideration, first of all we think about the change in x, or a small increment in x causes the change in u and related change with y. Now if y is a differentiable function of u, if y is a differentiable function of u, if y is differentiable function of u, then we get dy by du is equal to limit of delta u tends to 0 delta y divided by delta u, and if u is differentiable function of x, then we get du by dx is equal to limit of delta x tends to 0 delta u divided by delta x. Similarly, if y is differentiable function of u, then dy by du is equal to limit of delta u tends to 0. Sorry, you can say the consideration of y is the differentiable function of x, then you will get the delta y divided by delta x tends to 0 delta y divided by delta x. Now we have limit of delta x tends to 0 delta y divided by delta x is equal to limit of delta u tends to 0 delta y divided by delta u into limit of delta x tends to 0 delta u divided by delta x. From this we will get the consideration of limit of delta x tends to 0 delta y divided by delta x is nothing but a dy by dx is equal to delta y divided by limit of delta u tends to 0 delta y divided by delta u is nothing but dy by du into limit of delta x tends to 0 du by dx delta u divided by delta x is nothing but a du by dx. This is the proof. This is the proof of that function. Once again, you can think about